Guys, so in this video, I want to give you a little bit of information about, or not a little bit of information, but I want to talk to you a little bit about what happened when I lost my job, like right after I closed on my house. So I was unemployed for I want to say 4 months. And I was terrified. I was depressed. I was terrified. I didn't know what to do. I finally got a part time job working 12 hours as an accounting assistant in at this company not too far away. But 12 hours, like that was enough to, I believe, pay my utilities. Okay. So I was devastated. I was depressed. I had no credit. I had there was no social media at that time. I think like monster.com was the go-to search engine for jobs. So I was just posting like for applying for jobs 50 at a time a day. That was my full-time job. And I was very depressed, and I kept that part-time job though for one whole year. So like imagine, you just closed on this townhouse. You are thinking that you're a licensed real estate salesperson that couldn't even, like, I think I had one closing after was unemployed, but that really was not enough to last for a whole year. And that wasn't, it may have been enough to cover some, my mortgage and my utilities, but it wasn't enough to even keep my license active or pay for gas to be driving all over Atlanta. So I essentially had to stop. I had to put my license on referral status, and it sat there for years. I never made enough money to get caught up in my past due bills and then start something new. Like, it was devastating. I was devastated. I was so depressed. If it wasn't for my mother and one of my really good friends, think they loaned me a total of $6,000 that year. So I lived off of $6,000 plus the $12 an hour that I got at that job. I did that for 14 months, I believe, maybe 15 months, until I was able to get a full time job making, I think, $14 an hour. I don't even know. But that job, y'all, was an hour and a half from my house, and I did that for 2 years. Um, I learned a lot from that situation. Number one, you need contacts, you need to be connected, you need to be connected and keeping in touch with people, not just in case something happens and you need something from them, but so that you have resources to bounce back and forth off of people. Like, I sometimes am so upset that I wasn't in the right place at the right time. I wasn't networking. I didn't even know what networking was. The few people that I did know just didn't know anyone who could really help me at that time, especially kind of shift out of where I was into something else. So, but that this is all going to tie in some of my upcoming posts when I start talking about me just living paycheck to paycheck and having absolutely no money and not knowing how to even get money. The traditional route was you applied for a job, you submitted your resume, and you got the job. And now we're in this a whole different world where I can just pick up my cell phone, download an app, and start working. So things have completely changed. And in that aspect, that you can get money. You may not be a lot, but you definitely can get money. And if I had a Uber, if I had a Grubhub, if there was a Grubhub and Uber, if all these gig jobs was there, 20 years ago, I'd be on them. Sometimes my mind wonders, like, maybe those gig jobs were there, they just weren't called Uber. They were there, I just didn't know how to, my brain wasn't at that space where I could just create a job, like that. And I think many of us entrepreneurs probably think that way. We see things around us and we see the opportunities, but we sometimes we talk ourselves out of it because we might think that that's just, you're not going to do anything with that. Or, yeah, you can go run errands or babysit, but that's not any real money. Not thinking that, hey, why don't you create a website where people that need babysitters can come on? Like, who would have thought of that? Now look at care.com. Um, but anyway, so that is just what I wanted to talk to real quick, is about that period of being unemployed and having no money and living paycheck to paycheck. And and that was 20 years ago, and that whole process lasted for 10 years. And it was devastating. um, Financially, it was devastating to the ego. It hurt to know that I tried so hard and I failed. So, but you know what? I'm the type of person that, I don't look at that as a failure. I just look at that as a learning experience. I've learned a lot. I've learned that I need to be connected. I need to be talking to people. I always need to be learning something. And people need to know that I'm here to help them as well. We can exchange information, we can exchange data, we can exchange ideas. There's nothing like a good think tank to keep us moving. So when something comes up, when there's an opportunity that comes up, or there is an issue or concern that pops up, there's someone in your network who can provide some type of guidance. That's all. So yeah, so we'll keep in touch. In the next video, I think I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about me transitioning, waking up. I'm going to talk definitely about one of the biggest financial mistakes that I made that was just devastating, and I just don't recommend anyone do it. So I'm going to tell you what I did and tell you how I almost, foreclosed on my house or became a bankruptcy filer. So yeah, just to have some context. So as I move forward with giving my opinion, you kind of have an idea of where I'm coming from. All right, thank you so much for checking out this video, and stay tuned for the next one. Bye.